Hello, Shlomola. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Reverend Travis Tidwell, Mystic Travis Tidwell, One Sacred Dragon. I'm back by popular demand. Not been on for a while. A lot of changes in my life. I'm doing so many things. My God, I just created a new LLC and a nonprofit. I'm already teaching with my Sacred Dragon School of Philosophy every Wednesday on Zoom, plus the readings I do for a living and personal mentoring and teaching. It's a journey. I'm a spiritual being, and this is my journey. That's why I like to call myself a mystic because there's so many things I do. I mean, I can remove entities, I can bless homes. I mean, there's nothing I cannot do. I feel on this spiritual spectrum. I've been doing it for 36 years for a living. But I'm here to talk about 2025. I love making these yearly predictions, and the past couple of years have just been cray cray, as they say in the West Coast, because that's where I live, right here on the coast. And so at some point, if I don't do it in January, I won't do any predictions on social media, honestly. I don't know why I have that stigma, but I do. But today we're talking about Donald Trump, the president. We're talking about stuff going on around him right now. Um, and this is not my personal, this is my professional psychic sensing here. Before we go any further with this, I want to say in 2016, I predicted that Donald Trump would be a one-term president, and I was right. He was a one-term president. Now, I stood by that all the way to this election because I didn't want to admit that he probably would get president because in my rational mind, I couldn't see it. But I have to let go of my ego, I guess, when I do readings on certain people. Doing this 36 years, I'm still learning. And also, I'm a veteran, and I believe in justice, okay? And I don't believe in prejudicing or manipulating people or lying on that level. So when we look at 2025 for Donald Trump, well, I do see he's going to have some problems between now and the inauguration with a couple of different things. Number one is his health. I feel he still has to give a valid certification of that because I feel he's going to probably submit a phony one because I already see him having stomach, intestine problems, possibly prostate. Excuse me. But yeah, that's what I kind of feel. There's some stuff going on with him. I'm also going to predict he's not going to make the next 4 years in the presidency. He's not. He's not. He's not. It's going to get real wild in 24 months if it goes that long. We'll see. Also, what I felt for him was there's two women there's an unknown woman that will be known here soon. That's going to be another block for him. I'm not sure how or why, but I keep getting that psychically. And I also feel too that there's a woman who's already been implicated in his life in some way who's going to be exposed this month. And this is January 6th today. I'm making this prediction. So we'll see. I'm also showing he's not going to have success with the economy in 2025, as he's been, saying. I don't feel he's going to create stability in the way he says he is. First of all, I feel Obama in office for 8 years back when he took over in 2016, he came into a good economy. It's not like we were hurt. We weren't. And the fact is, go to Google, best president we ever had was Clinton, who cheated on his wife, got impeached. But he left our country in the positive. So going back to this 2016 thing with Trump too, I feel that, he did violate certain rules with paying off porn stars. But that's just my opinion. But legally it is. And psychically, I feel that's still haunting him. I feel that's psychic. I feel like that still hasn't gone away because he's also been convicted now, 34 counts. And I do feel, and I predicted that in 2016. You look at my channel back in 2016, I made some heavy predictions, and a lot of them come true, which people didn't think they would. I was still feeling he could go to jail, if somebody puts their cowboy boots on, pulls up their pants, be a man. But at any rate, the other thing I feel is that, yeah, he will not enhance the economy. He's going to cause more problems for the inflation with these tariffs from what I get psychically. Like, I feel like we have so many different countries right now upset. And we will not make Canada our 51st state. I promise you that. I'm predicting that right now. And I don't even know why people are talking about, or even it's ludicrous. Okay, it's crazy. And I don't see us taking over the Panama Canal at all. Now, I'm going to take a pause on Donald Trump here because I don't think I have that much more to say for him. I'm going to double check some notes here. But we can talk about his relations with China. It's not going to get any worse than what it is now. maybe a little bit. There'll be some struggle, but no, I don't see that. But I also want to remind everybody who tunes in today that we're in a 9 cycle on planet Earth, which is not good. And the people we've had and countries we've had disappointments with in last year will get worse this year. And that's the Ukrainian, stuff going on, Russia. I feel like China is building up their military for Taiwan, but it won't happen this year. Not from what I'm sensing. So I'm predicting that. But I am showing that we are going to have some problems with North Korea. So this 9 cycle, we're going to America. We have 2 cycles in America because we have January 4th, right? So let me see here. Yeah, we're in a 1 cycle as in a country too, which means last year should have been which was a bad year, with all this stuff going on. But and not yeah, last year we had some weird stuff going on. Last year was a 9. We're in a 1 cycle now in America, so it's all about new ideas, new beginnings. But at a world level, 9 cycle. So usually our enemies will come out and expose themselves to us, and we'll see how that works. Because unfortunately, we have enemies in the Middle East because we back Israel. And I don't feel that World War III is going to happen this year at all. I feel that Putin can't leave the country because he's a war criminal now, just like I believe George Bush was sought after as a war criminal. But anyway, going back to that 9 cycle, it's also going to be more spiritual time this year, and that's good to know because I'm here for you for that. I am One Sacred Dragon. You go to sacreddragonevents.com. Go to Sacred Dragon School of Philosophy. I'm here if you want to meditate with me and share spirit. I'd be more than happy to do that. I'm a great teacher. But let's talk about now Elon Musk with Donald Trump. Yeah, it's pretty cozy right now. I feel they probably have about a 24-month relationship also. I feel towards the end of this, it's not going to be as good as it is now as far as them being close. Elon Musk has put a footprint on the planet. He's also got his foot in the door in the government for grants, I believe. I guess he's made a lot of money building stuff through the United States of America. One thing that cracks me up, everybody's down on immigrants in this country, and it's like you can't because everybody here is an immigrant. And that just blows my mind. It's Trump's wife's an immigrant. I mean, there's so many immigrants. Elon Musk is an immigrant. So I feel a lot of stuff that's been said will not manifest. And that's the other problem Trump's going to have for 2025. What he's promising to do is not going to happen. And that could be good and bad. I'm not sure. We'll see how that works out. But that's what I'm showing. Yeah, and Donald Trump is a young soul in my philosophy. He's the emperor card. So he has temper tantrums. He's a control freak. And he's in a 1 cycle right now himself, which means he feels now that the last year was the worst year in his life, which probably pretty much was since he's a convicted felon now. But I was waiting to see the next felons coming in because he's broken the law in so many ways. But now that he's president, we'll see how he does. I still feel that there's problems coming for him that he can't escape even in his presidency. So we'll see how that works. I'm also showing that again, Elon Musk bought him the presidency because he wasn't doing that well until Elon Musk came in. So I'm sure that Trump has made a lot of deals with a lot of powerful people to get into where he's at now. Now, if you notice, you don't see Ivanka in the White House this year. You won't see any of the Trump family in the White House this year because they are still under the microscope and still could be convicted for things. Now, I predicted back in 2016, I hate to go farther back, but it's been a while since I've been here on YouTube with you guys. I predicted Matt Gaetz would have legal problems, and that's also still coming so many years later. I also predicted he would get married as like to set himself up to be this nice guy who's got it together, but he doesn't. And if I'm not mistaken now, I think he's going to pull out of politics in some way. Any other notes I'm here looking? Well, let's talk about Elon Musk, 7th time here. He's also control freak, very creative, obviously very successful, has made a name for himself. But Elon is still very restless within his soul for change. No matter what he creates, no matter how far he travels in space, he's not happy. He's not content because he hasn't learned about the God source, Yahweh, and developing his connection, prayer, meditation, hand in hand. And he's also a Cancer Gemini, which means he's very sensitive. Maybe doesn't show up, but very sensitive. A flirt, yeah, and loves women, I'm sure. Now let's talk about the UFOs for 2025. There's a lot of hoopla about, oh, they're coming this year, and I was on TikTok, and I don't mean to put anybody down, honestly, I don't. I mean, I'm not doing that because I feel we all have our own. I'm a philosopher, I have my own hypothesis, but I also feel too that some of these people who are contacting star seeds need to be careful what they put out there on the internet, because we know the aliens are here to assist our next exodus, and that's for sure. But there's more than ETs that's going to be assisting us. One other entity that's going to be assisting us is Lord Maitreya. And most of you had not heard about Lord Maitreya. And Lord Maitreya was the first Christ on the planet before Jesus. Yeah, that's right. The first Christ. Which, as a Catholic, when I heard that, that's bullshit. But no, it's true. It's true. From Japan, actually. Because we have to remember, we're not taught that in Christianity or Catholicism, that Christ is an energy, it's not a person. Now, Jesus is the Lord of the Christ. That's actually his proper title, is Jesus, Lord of the Christ, not Jesus Christ, but Jesus, Lord of the Christ, because Christ is an office that he holds. He's the representative, and a lot of people just aren't conscious of that. So, because I also now, before I go any further, I do a master class every second Wednesday of the month, where we're preparing for ascension. We're studying out of different information. I've been studying Enoch for years and have that background and information. But we do know that Lord Maitreya will make a return. And when he comes, he says that he will be on all devices around the world at the same time, speaking one language that we will all understand. And I feel that to be true. The ETs aren't gods. Like, we're even more powerful than the ETs in different ways. Technologically, nah. They're advanced, but in other ways, yes, and they're not us. And I think I read in the Vedic records here that there's 400 strains of humanoid and I think 140,000 different aliens in this galaxy, and that could very well be true. Now, we also have to remember that on this planet, on planet Earth, we have a lot of those 400 different humanoids here. Because in India, they don't have an Adam and Eve story. They do, but it's not Adam and Eve. It's Shakti and Shiva, and who I love, along with Jesus and everybody else. I'm spiritual, I'm collected, but we have to realize that we're on this planet with other humanoids who do come from different star systems, and you can see it in the way they've lived here. Egyptians, another one, and India. They talk about in their records of incarnation and things of that nature that we were never raised on being Christian. And this country's been Christian strong for so long, but I hate to say it, we're now officially in the Aquarian age, and now officially in the Aquarian age, hey, boom, we're going to elevate our consciousness. Now, going back to the predictions, my God, here, I'm getting carried away here, ranting on. Yeah, I'm also showing for Elon Musk that next year there could be some problems with space for him. We'll see how that works, and that could be spaceships exploding, things of that nature. And again, talking about the UFOs, Elon Musk has something that looks like a UFO he's created. It's for military use, and thank God our government has one too. And I feel he's a very powerful person, and I'm hoping he'll stay in the light and work for the good. Now let's go back to the UFO thing, because I feel like sometimes the government has made UFOs to kind of play with our minds. The government's really pushing that all aliens are evil and can want to kill us, but they could have already done that, or at least attempted. The other thing I feel is that, like, these UFOs that are around right now, they're saying they're private parties. But there's UFOs being seen coming out of the ocean. Those are called USOs, unidentified submerged objects. And with all the cell phones and stuff, people are catching more. So the more we see, we think it's like, no, but it's not ready yet. It's going to take more than just them when it happens. And in fact, we know that the first aliens that come here bring us metallurgy information. If they're kidnapping us and dissecting us and don't know about us, then they're not God sourced. And from what I understand through my guide Hermes Trismegistus Thoth, my personal guide, is that any alien who doesn't acknowledge the one, we don't want to be around. As it is above, it is below. We got negative up there, just like we got negative down here. There's a federation, a galactic federation, and a galactic confederacy. There is, for sure. I come from the galactic center. I'm 27 degrees rising Sag. And if anybody out there hears that, contact me. I'd love to meet somebody else like me from the galactic center, because we're all star seeds. But yeah, there's this UFO thing. It'll get worse. It'll get bigger. There'll be some partial or more activity this year, I'm sure, and there could be maybe some partial communication or something that would maybe there'll be a crash landing. We'll actually get to see something. We'll see of that nature. Maybe there'll be some more exposure with that from what I'm getting, but I really don't see an invasion yet at all. The biggest thing I felt that was very masterful, if it was a hoax, was the Florida situation where somebody opened up a portal and these shadows came out of the portal, silhouette people or beings. That's crazy because portals do exist, and there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. I'm finding out. I'm gullible sometimes. That's not real. I mean, it's kind of sad to think that or feel that. I guess that's going to be about it. Like I said, let me go over North Korea real quick. North Korea is going to challenge the United States this year as well as the world, and North Korea will be a problem. I'm also predicting that Russia will not win the war in Ukraine. They've got too much firepower and they have too much support. NATO, there's a lot of countries around the world supporting Ukraine. We are still supporting them, and I hope we still support them because we are the country that fights for freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of rights in many different ways that we have that other countries don't have. They should have that. And I hope people get back to real journalism. That'd be nice. But moving right along, yeah, I kind of feel, I guess that's about it. Economy's not going to get any better with him in office. It looks like for 2025. This is just for the year. To recap here, we see he does have a problem with his wife, and he's paid her to go to the events. And I'm showing a big money exchange between her and him. And I'm also showing too that he's going to have a problem again getting inaugurated because he's going to have some medical documents, and I'm pretty sure that they'll be phony, and there's some other stuff coming up for him yet to deal with. I'm almost certain that Iran was not happy at all, and because he killed one of their top leaders in the past, I feel that could pose a problem for us as Americans. So I feel we're all going to have problems in 2025. I feel like terrorism's coming back with a vengeance. I don't see any major earthquakes in California for 2025 anymore. That's already happened, or on that level, like something's going to split the state or something. And I do feel that there will be earthquakes in places this year that have never been before, like in the Midwest, back east. Okay. And that could, that's going to be a solid piece of rock moving. That's going to be exciting. We'll see how that works. And I'm also going to predict earthquakes in the Middle East. Big one. And possibly China. So we'll see. Making those predictions today. More volcano activity. Obviously, it's already happened, but there's more popping up. See, if we want to know the future of the planet, we just have to look at the past. Everything repeats itself here. We forget we're visitors on this planet. We're starseeds, and this planet is like floating through space. So I hope you're getting the drift of what I'm saying. It's an amazing time to be alive on planet Earth. I have my own hypothesis. I'm writing a book on my sacred dragon philosophy right now. And for those of you who don't know about the Anunnaki Sumerian vibration and things of that nature, it'd be good to look at because it changes your reality on where we were. And most of us here on this planet lived in Atlantis. And for those of you who go, oh, I think I've been there, you probably have. But I want you to remember when you were there and I were there, Adam and Eve didn't exist. So we could reincarnate into this consciousness, and that's what's kicking us right now. Is the Christianity, Catholicism? None of it's really, it's not really working, unless you just like being a sheep. But I like to feel empowered by my God, Yahweh, and my goddess mother, Earth, because she gives me my flesh, she gives me my spirit, and that's how this kind of works together. Like I said, even aliens have to acknowledge the source. We didn't come from an egg. We're not grown out of the ground, and we're not from Earth. And I just want everybody to kind of remember that. Now, you can go to my TikTok channel. I believe it's One Sacred Dragon, Travis Tidwell Mystic. Go to Spotify, check out my album, Time Has Come by Travis Tillman on Spotify, iTunes. And, go to my website, sacreddragonevents.com. And, I do have another address, travistidwell.us, but I have to upgrade that site and change a few things on it. I just created this new site, sacreddragonevents.com. I'm doing retreats this year and many, many new things. And, I'm available for phone readings, phone sessions, for mentoring, counseling. You need your business cleansed, you have a paranormal problem, call me. That's what I do for a living. And also, if you're looking to be a ceremony magician and have that kind of knowledge, because I also have shaman background, DM me. I teach privately as well as in class. Like I said, I have classes every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time on Zoom. So I hope this gets circulated. I hope what I say right now comes true. Go back and look at 2016 and see what I predicted and see how much has came true from that. Other than that, I'm wishing everybody on planet Earth peace, love, and many blessings, because that's what we need right now, is a lot of love and a lot of blessings. And remember, prayer, meditation moves energy. Okay? I'll see you soon with some more stuff.